Hey guys, welcome to the channel. It's Nikki. Welcome back to my tribe. Okay, I'm gonna just get y'all heads up right now. Y'all might see me looking the same way in another video. It's because I just recorded another video in the same outfit, in the same location. Let's do travel surgical tech versus travel first assistant. Which one do I like the most? So, I've been a travel surgical tech for years. I never traveled as a first assistant, but I did work as a first assistant when I was like, when you're a surgical tech and once the doctors get comfortable with you, they start letting you assist, especially when they realize that you have the capability of assisting them. And so this was my first travel assignment as a first assistant, but I will tell you that this was probably the easiest role to fall into, because as a first assistant, I just need to be able to close a patient, look at hemostasis, and then understanding what parts of the body we're working on. Which, as a tech, you have to understand that too, but then you got the aspect of the equipments and the tools. Now, I still, because I'm a tech by trade, like by like that's natural to me, is to be a tech. I still do tech stuff, so I still pay attention to some of the stuff that the techs do, but I don't have to know how to do a total knee as a surgical tech because I'm a first assistant. I need to understand like how to stop the bleeding, how to manipulate the body, whatever extremity we're working, or whatever body part we're working on. I need to understand how to manipulate that, whether it's being delicate or using a little force or a combination of both. So it's a different position, but I do enjoy being a first assist at this facility. Now, I don't know how it's gonna be at another facility, but I do enjoy it. Now, as a tech though, because I have that tech experience, I do understand how to put certain equipment together and how to set up certain instruments and things like that. So I think that me being a tech has helped me be a better first assistant. But it took me to kind of get a little comfortable in this role because I hadn't been a first assistant, and I definitely hadn't been I hadn't been a travel first assistant. And so most of the places where I had worked as a first assist, I had done tech work at that facility first, so I was more comfortable with the staff and the doctors and everything. This facility, it took me like probably a couple weeks to get a little more comfortable with what they wanted me to do, even suturing, like different suture techniques and for different surgeries that procedures that I haven't ever done before. So I had to, it was a learning curve for me, you guys. I'm not gonna lie, it took a minute. And so, but I did get it down, and I have it down now. But when I'm looking at comparing the two side by side, when I'm looking at what I'm doing, my job duties, I like assisting more. But the pay right now, because the pay is not necessarily that big of a difference right now. So a lot of people are saying that surgical tech, travel surgical tech contracts are dropping. Travel surgical tech contracts and travel first assist contracts are not dropping. Other departments that have travel nursing attached to it may be dropping, but not in the OR, because you have to already understand the OR was already understaffed prior to the pandemic. So the OR already didn't have a lot of techs that was out here taking a lot of first assists. You know, it may be more, it's probably more OR nurses than it is techs. And so some OR nurses do know how to scrub a case and assist, but for the most part, that's not a skill that's taught to nurses. That's something that they would learn on the job. And so because of that, there's a shortage of surgical techs and surgical first assistants, or scrubs in general, right? If that's the case, then the pay can't go down, because you have to incentivize people to go to work. Like, people don't want to just be in the OR working 40 hours plus a week. And I say 40 hours plus because most places require you to take call unless you're working at a surgery center. And even at a surgery center, you may come in early and have to stay later because it's not another team that's gonna come in and like relieve you like it would be at a hospital. So the pay isn't going down. So right now, if I want to tech in Florida, now y'all done heard me talk, I talk cash money trash about being in Florida and working, because the rates was just trash. The rates was just not what I was looking for. Right now in Florida, they have rates for you to net $2,500, $2,600, working 36 hours. You may be on call, but 36 hours and net and $2,500, $2,600 a week is good money to me. To me, that's good, because you working 36 hours. I'm working 40 plus hours, and I'm netting more than 25, 26. but I'm working longer hours. You know what I'm saying? Like right now I'm kind of torn. Do I take a first assist position, or do I take a surgical tech position here in Florida? I'm not gonna take one in Jacksonville because I wouldn't get the housing stipend, but I can get a tech position here about 2 to 3 hours away from where I live at, and I have friends and family in this area, so I could stay with somebody and it would lower my expense rate. Or even if I stayed in my car, y'all, like I'm not above camping out in my car and every couple of days getting a room or something like that. Like I'm cool with that. So yeah, that's what I'm looking at, you guys. So if you had the option, now I want more first assist positions, because if I don't take the first assist positions, then I don't have the first assist experience when I want to go take a position, right? That's the first thing. Or do you take a surgical tech position because it's offering the numbers that the numbers are adding up? For me, it all boils down to numbers. Like it's all about the numbers. At the end of the day, me being a travel surgical assistant or a travel surgical tech is about money. It's not about, well, it's about experiences too, because I do enjoy going to different facilities. I do enjoy going to different states, and you know, I enjoy that kind of stuff, just to see what's new. Once you go to somewhere new, it puts you in this like learning energy, and so I'm just kind of humbled. Like it humbles me to go to different facilities and different states and do different experiences, because if I've never done it before, then I gotta learn it. And when you're learning something and you know you don't know what it is, then you're humble. Most of the time, most of us, if we don't know something, we humble ourselves enough to learn it or to experience it, and then if depending on if we're great at it, then we become, you know, our ego starts to take place. But for most part, for me, I like to go experience different things just because it helps me be a better human being. Like it grounds me. It gives me a better view on life once I experience different things. So it is about the money, I'm not gonna lie, but the experience is up there too, so you got to kind of put them together. Now me being in Florida, it would be a better experience than it would be, like, well, it's hot here right now, so I can't say it's like the best experience, but I would have a better experience traveling because I wouldn't be so far away from home. I could come check on my house. See, right now when I need to come home, I got to fly. Y'all, it's a whole ordeal because I'm in a country, like I'm in a small town in New Mexico. That was where my contract was. It would take 2.5 plus hours, well, 1.5 to 2.5 hours just to get to the airport. And if I don't want my car to stay there the whole time, I got to get somebody to take me to the airport. And so it's a whole ordeal. If I was in Florida, I wouldn't have to worry about that because I could either fly right into Jacksonville or I could drive home, depending on, you know, how far I am away from my house. Right now, the rates are about the same, honestly, depending on where you go and what you're looking at. It may be the same for a first assistant. And then the thing with the first assistant and the surgical tech rates may be similar. But the thing about being a first assistant is they don't have as many travel contracts as a surgical tech does. So that's something that I'm faced with trying to figure out right now as well, is like, how am I going to find more travel first assistant jobs besides what I'm doing right now, like having my application, having my resume on Indeed and LinkedIn, and having my, you know, having a whole bunch of recruiters that I'm dealing with, which is a whole nother story when you're dealing with like agencies. I got a couple of story times that I could tell y'all about the last agency that I just stopped working with, which is kind of why I'm like in limbo right now. So I quit. I want to go back to the facility that I was at, but I don't want to work with agencies. So I told them that I wasn't gonna work with them no more. And then now I just got to figure out if the agent or if the facility is gonna bring me back, which she said she would, but you know, you never know. So we'll find out on Monday if I'm going back to New Mexico. But right now, as of Thursday, I already have an offer to stay in Florida right now, working 36 hours net and $2,500 a week. So if I don't go back, I'm okay with that. That's my first choice, but I'm okay with that because I'll just take here and chill in Florida for the summer. Like, who don't want to be in Florida? And I'll be further south than Jacksonville. I'll be like 3.5 hours south, which is South Florida to me. And so who don't want to be in South Florida in the summertime? At least it's going to be an experience. Anyways, you guys, tell me what you think in the comment section below. Like, surgical tech, is it surgical tech for you or is it first assist for you? If I do take a permanent position, I will say this, a permanent position as a first assist I will make more than I would if I was a tech. So, but we're not talking permanent positions. I probably won't ever, I'm not gonna say I won't ever take a permanent position, because I might take one next year. I might take a permanent position somewhere in Florida next year, but only because Braylon want to go to school, depending on where he go to school at. If y'all don't know this now, my son is homeschooled right now, and next year he'll be going to high school, so he might want to go, to regular school. And if that's the case, then I'm probably gonna post up somewhere for a little while and just see how that goes. But I might not. We'll see. You know, we'll see what's in play at that time. But for the most part, I probably won't take no permanent position, because it still doesn't put enough cushion in my pocket. It ain't that fast money. And I don't know if y'all watch any of my other videos, but I'm back out here in these traveling streets because it's fast money. And it's fast. This is the fastest way I know how to make this amount of money. Like, I don't know how else to do it legally yet. I'm working on a couple ways through entrepreneurship, but I haven't mastered that yet. Like, I've been in scrub tech and first assist for over 15 years at this point, so I got this down. I'm not the best at every service, and it takes some learning sometimes, but I can learn, and I'm a quick study. So if I don't know it, I'm gonna study the case, y'all. Like, that's what I do. Like, if I don't know something, I'll go in there, like, especially if I don't know how that doctor is doing that procedure, because some doctors do procedures differently. So I'm gonna go study it. Like, that's how I learn. I'm not too, you know, I'm not above myself where I'm not finna sit back and go look over another a knee arthroscopy or a shoulder arthroscopy or a total knee or anything like that. Because if I'm doing it with a new physician, sorry, I was an ant. I'm gonna go learn that physician's technique, and then when I get back in the room with them, you know, I'll be better than I was the last time. And so that's how I operate. But anyways, that's all I got for y'all in this video, because I'm hungry and it's hot out here, so I'm finna go back in the house. Y'all let me know what y'all think about it in the comment section below. Is it surgical tech for you? Is it first assist for you? Like, which one is it? All right, bye you guys.